They told me it was for freedom, for democracy, for human rights. These words echoed across continents, broadcast in every language, promising a better tomorrow. We were told that the sacrifices would be worth it, that the world would be safer, fairer, more just. But as the years passed, the promises began to ring hollow. So why is the world burning? Why do the flames of conflict and chaos seem to spread wherever these promises are made? Why do so many still suffer, even as the banners of freedom are raised high? I watch them invade Iraq, bomb Libya, starve Venezuela, and call it peace. I saw the devastation left behind, families torn apart, cities reduced to rubble, children growing up in the shadow of war. All the while, the architects of these tragedies spoke of liberation and hope. They created enemies, then called it justice. They pointed fingers, shifting blame, while parading their power for the world to see. The cycle repeated over and over, as if history itself was being rewritten by those in charge. They expanded their power, drew new lines on distant maps, and told me Russia was the villain. But every new border, every new enemy only deepened the divides and fueled more conflict. But what if the real enemy was the lie itself? What if the greatest threat was not a nation, but the stories we were told to believe? I saw how the stories changed. Headlines twisted, narratives flipped, and yesterday's villain became today's hero. The truth was always just out of reach, hidden behind a wall of noise. How the same voices that preached liberty dropped bombs on cities, sanctioned entire nations, and shut out the truth. They silenced dissent, punished the innocent, and called it progress. Al-Qaeda, Ukraine, coups, and collapse. Each chapter branded as a fight for peace, but paid for by the world's most vulnerable. The cost was always borne by those with the least power, the least voice. While they reaped the profits, people like you and me paid the price. But something's shifting. The world is no longer content to watch in silence. The cracks in the old order are growing wider. From Moscow to Mali, Tehran to Brasilia, I see a world waking up. People are questioning the stories, challenging the old powers, and demanding a new way forward. No longer willing to pay for Western promises that never arrive. The patience of nations has run out, and the world is searching for its own answers. The dollar's grip is slipping. New alliances are forming, new currencies rising, and the old financial order is being challenged at every turn. BRICS grows stronger, nations uniting, forging new paths, demanding a seat at the table. They are building a future where their voices cannot be ignored. African leaders reject old masters. They are reclaiming their destinies, refusing to be pawns in someone else's game. Latin America shouts, "No more IMF." The people demand sovereignty, dignity, and a future free from foreign control. Millions rise, not for Western approval, but for dignity. They march for their children, for their land, for the right to decide their own fate. I see it in handshakes at summits, in the eyes of protesters, in the simple act of saying enough. The world is finding its voice, and it will not be silenced. You tried to divide us. You built walls, drew lines, and hoped we would turn on each other. You tried to silence us. You censored our voices, suppressed our stories, and tried to erase our hope. But we speak louder. We rise together. Our unity is our strength, and our determination is unbreakable. The old lie is dying. The world is ready to bury the myths that kept us apart. A new world is already being born. One where no nation rules by fear, and where truth finally breaks through. The dawn is coming, and with it, a chance to build something better. Beyond the Atlantic lie, beyond the old stories and broken promises, the future is ours to claim. Together we will write the next chapter, one of hope, truth, and real freedom.